One, I think if we actually achieved what we were capable of achieving, we would literally astound ourselves. And there is no reason, I think my mom said this one, wherever mom is. She said there is nothing you can't do if you put your mind to it. We all have two eyes, one nose, one mouth, two hands, two legs. So as a result, we are all mentor worthy. I think the difference between people who have good mentorship and people who don't is people who reach out to people versus people who don't. And people who have the emotional intelligence in the situation to know how they are cultivating that relationship. So both reaching out and then having a little bit of EQ around how you nurture that relationship. So
childhood. But I really wonder, how did you actually make that happen? How did you translate a fairy tale into a corporate lesson?
And I love them. And I love them over and over again. I watched every Cinderella movie, every retelling of Cinderella as well. And I think that there is number one, there is a child in all of us. And I love the fact that we're all so grown up, but there is a child in all of us. And that child can make grown-ups smile. When I looked back at those fairy tales, I think from that conversation at Harvard, I looked at Cinderella, for example, and I said, okay, it's life, and business is life. There's no difference. As I keep saying, people think work and life is different. We take life lessons from these fairy tales when we are younger. How does this apply to work? And it's true, Cinderella had two stepsisters and a stepmother who made her work really hard every day, had absolutely no interest in her doing better. That's very similar to the position some youngsters find in organizations where they have a boss who makes them work very hard every day, or they have colleagues who don't want this person to, be seen in a good light. And if this person doesn't reach out beyond this little reference point, Cinderella spent many years working extremely hard, and she was a model of virtue and beautiful and all those lovely things. So you can have all the fantastic traits in the world, but if that's your world, you can never get out of it. And then, the fairy godmother, what was she? She was somebody outside that network who saw her for what she was and gave her everything that mentors can give you, sponsorship, validation, protection, coaching, literally through the coach. So I think there are lots of parallels, and I think in the book you'll find being binding, whatever you're doing, how would you take that and make it an opportunity? And that's a question, depending on what you're doing, you have to answer. For me, it was actually reading everything I photocopied.